Hi teacher, good night. My name is Edita Studillo. I am going to present of analysis teaching research of my group 5, confirmed by Lady Tapia, Genesis Cabrera, Giselle Cuesta, and me, Edita Studillo. And first, and the title is Analysis of Teaching Research and use the FL class in selecting an Ecuador University. Step 1. What is the purpose, hypothesis, aim, objective of the students? What is the purpose of the article? Language policy the operation in this country that because the legal requirement of the government higher education institutions of this country require schools and university to teach English, the foreign language. For example, in the countries, for example, Paraca, in Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, and Chile, and Peru. English is a priority to concern the 7 countries and this to analyze the learning purpose. For my group, the analysis purpose is to analyze the learning and teaching for English learning for the EFL, the English foreign language. And what was the gap in the research that authors were trying to file during their study? They are looking for a way to change learning with the new ways. For the methods in the specific levels of the students of English is low, they seek to improve this and they change the ways and methods in the EFL class. The step 2 is what is the major findings of the study? Major conclusion on findings. For the results indicate that in developing productive skills, the 4 skills, group oriented activities such as peer or and share exchange, the role plays, and translator, and frequently conducing and they use the 4 worksheets, translation applications, and use the audio materials, and often use the development students receiving the skills, and teachers did not often use resort upon pronunciation activities, direction oriented the text and translation using in Spanish. Of analysis and frequently and research, you can find this information in the page of 103. And in conclusion, write this conclusion and understand them. In our words, in conclusion, new forms, autonomous learning in the class must be sought which can be based in the daily activities, on the scholarships, routines, interactive games with others, interactive games with the students and the student and teacher. Where can the class be activated? With this, you could see an improvement, the learning, and also using the new methods will reflected a good results in the class and improve the 4 skills, listening, reading, and writing. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, my name is Lady Tapia, and I'm going to talk about the step 3. And how did the authors test their hypothesis? Okay, so a survey was administered to 75 teachers between teachers of a public university, and co-founded university. The questionnaire had 20 items with questions that refers to their academics profile and the teaching resource they're using development the 4 skill, and the survey has their parts. Okay, so do the authors suggest any problems or limitation with their methodology? Do you see any problems or limitation with their methodology? Okay, in our opinion, we didn't see any surgery of the methodology. We can see a limitation because they only focus on 60, only 75 teachers, but they have a good selection between different teachers of different types of university. Okay, the next question is how did the authors analyze their data and what is tests did they use? Okay, the authors made survey that was divided into two parts. And the first, they asked 65 teachers about how many years they have been teaching and what professional leader they have and about the use of the communicative approach. And the second part of the survey, they look into account the skills, restrive, such as listening activities and frequent use of aids to develop the listening activities.
Do the authors suggest any problem with the study that could lead to unreliable result? Uh, okay. Nowhere in the article with respect to the result do they show us that there have been problems so that the results are affected. In the contrary, with the surveys they conducted, they were able to obtain concrete data that helped them in the subject of their research. Okay, in the conclusions mentioned above are closely related to the results. Since it is mentioned that students may have work materials that encourage practice and interaction in the classroom. But if the emphasis is not placed on resources that strengthen students' pronunciation, these resources will not have an effect. And this implies that although teachers use resources that foster the communicative competence that students attain may not be sufficient to perform well in a four skills.
Step 6. What is the importance of this scientific work? A. Write in your own words the significant contribution of the experimental work in this journal article as reported by the authors. To begin, as in this article says, the use of the materials such as in real life, audios, or individual or group work in class encourages to practice the students' English in class. And as mentioned before, by doing these activities, the students have a very good pronunciation in English. And the teachers like also to use this kind of activities that are dynamic in class because the students encourage themselves to keep learning English. But there is a lot of contribution in this experiment. But one disadvantage of this is that, like, there is a lot of contribution. Um, we see that it only focuses on the listening skills, not on the speaking, reading, and writing skills. B. Rewrite your notes and explain why you think this. Um, we think, like I mentioned before, that it is a very strong article because it shows the way that the students have have the encouraged to keep studying English, and the teacher also has a great part of this experiment because she or he gives activities to the students and it is very dynamic. But also, as we mentioned before, it only focuses on what is the listening skills, one of out of four.